Alright, hi guys, it's Candy and welcome back to my channel. So I'm just sitting down here in my bathroom getting ready to do my hair and makeup for the day, and I thought I would do a little chit chat, get ready with me type video, and today I'm going to talk about my biggest fears. So I debated, I was almost going to do my biggest regrets in life, and then I was having actually a hard time coming up with them, and everything I was thinking about was so far in my past. I was like, is this even really relevant? So I don't know, maybe I'll still do that video eventually, but for today I'm just going to do my biggest fears. So these are in like no particular order because I don't want you to be like, oh, you're more scared of that than this and blah blah blah. No particular order, but first one we're going to talk about is I'll go with my kids being kidnapped. I would say even way before we started doing YouTube, I have been freaked out whenever we're in public. Like, let's say we go to the movies or something like that. Like if Carly says, oh, I have to use the bathroom, I would never let her go by herself. And I know I'm probably gonna get haters in this video and people that think I'm a psychopath, and I'm okay with that. I've had these fears for a long time, and then you hear stories like, supposedly there's a couple different stories. And honestly, I cannot remember for the life of me if this happened at our mall or if they happened somewhere else and I just heard the stories. I want to say this one happened at our mall. We actually have kind of like by the food court, we have like family bathrooms, and I heard the story of some girl getting kidnapped that was in the family bathroom. She was in there like hanging out, texting on her phone, waiting for her sister or mom or someone to get done using the bathroom. So they were in the women's bathroom, but she went in the family bathroom because they have like couches and stuff in there, and she had got kidnapped. And the thing is we live not too far from Toledo, Ohio, and Toledo, Ohio is, if you look it up, like very high on the list of cities that have problems with trafficking. So our mall that we go to the most is not like the best mall. No offense to anyone who lives in Toledo, because there are a lot of great people that live in Toledo, and Toledo is surrounded by a lot of cities in Michigan and Ohio that have you know, really nice neighborhoods and good schools and stuff. But there are just certain parts of Toledo that aren't as nice of areas, and so the mall draws a bad crowd. Like we have the rule, you can't be at the mall without an adult after 8 p.m. You know, like all these rules in place because so many fights were breaking out at the mall, and I'm getting off topic. So let's just go back, quit talking about the mall. Point being, that's just one of my biggest fears of, like, say we're at a store and we're shopping and Carly's trying on clothes. I would never be like, oh sure, go try on clothes while I'm off at the shoe department. I pretty much follow her around like a hawk when we're out at the mall. And honestly, when I think about it, I don't know when or what age she will have to be before I would be comfortable with her just going to the mall and shopping without me. Like I kind of, it's almost like a joke, like I tease her and tell her it will never happen, but obviously at some point in her life it's going to happen. I just don't know when, and it's not going to be anytime soon. And I would say, like, obviously with Andrew and Blake, they're old enough to fend for themselves. Not that I don't worry about like things happening to them when they're out in public, because obviously if they got jumped by a group of guys, they would be screwed. But for the most part, you know, I don't worry about them as much, and I don't worry about Chase as much as I do Carly, just because he's a boy. But I still believe that things could happen to boys too. In fact, the other story that I heard was at the movie theater, that some boy went into the bathroom and some guy trapped him in one of the stalls and, I don't know, molested him or did whatever, and he ended up being found by some other boy who came into the bathroom and found him like in the stall crying and whatever, so on and so forth. I don't know if, like I said, if they happen at our mall or if these are just stories that have been passed on or what, but so I don't know. I even think about even a young boy, you're just not safe. And it's scary, the world that we live in, that we even have to worry about this kind of stuff these days, but unfortunately we do. So that is one of my huge fears. And then I would say My next fear is car accidents. I have a huge fear of getting in a car accident, especially when I'm on the expressway. I would say there's probably not a time or a day that goes by that at some point in time I don't have some sort of visualization of getting in a car accident. Let's say I go through an intersection and the light had just turned yellow. It's almost like I can visualize in my mind what would have happened if I was like T-boned, and then I'll like hear the noise of the car crash in my head. Does anybody else do this? Because now I'm thinking that I seem crazy, but like, I guess that's the only way I can think about it. Let's say I come to an intersection and the light turns yellow or red and I stop. So then I visualize, well, if I would have kept going, maybe I could have made that light. And then all of a sudden it just plays out in my imagination that, no, if I would have went, I would have got hit, and I see it and I hear the sound, and it's like, I don't know. So I'm not saying, I'm not one of these drivers that drives in fear. I'm not like that fearful, but I am a very defensive driver. I do speed sometimes, which probably doesn't make sense because I drive a larger sport utility vehicle, and it's so easy to look down and be like, oh my God, I'm going 50 and it's 40 speed limit or 45 or whatever. I'm probably not the slowest driver, but I am definitely a very safe driver because of my huge fear. Oh, and I have a major fear of being on the highway and driving along and getting, like, if I'm driving here in the fast lane and a semi truck is here, that they're gonna like veer over into my lane, or they're gonna switch lanes because they didn't know that I was there, and I'm gonna get like ran off the road, into a ditch, flip over, like just all that bad stuff. So I hate driving on the expressway being by semis. And I definitely, like if I'm driving on the highway and you have to go around a curve and I'm by a semi, I will like hurry up and get past the semi, so when I'm turning the corner, I'm not next to the semi truck, because that's just scary to me. So my next two fears kind of go hand in hand, and I think that this is just a common fear of most people, is fear of dying. But I think I take it to a new level because my fear of dying is also mixed in with my fear of going to the doctors. And if you guys know my past history, if you've watched my previous videos where I used to work for many different doctors' offices, back when I worked for internal medicine doctors, doctors would just pass out medications like no big deal. So like if I got a sore throat or something like that, I would say, hey, I need an antibiotic, and he would just like hand me a box of antibiotics. Well, since then things had gotten a lot more regulated, I guess you could say. Now doctors' offices, when they give out samples, and I don't know if everybody does this, but where I used to work, you had to check the samples in, you had to check them out, like it was all kept track of somewhere. So doctors kind of stopped giving out medications like they used to. And I don't know how they do it nowadays, like if your doctor gives you a sample of a prescription, because I couldn't even tell you the last time I've gone to a doctor and got a prescription. Like literally, I had a physical with a internal medicine doctor probably about 5 years ago. I have this lump on my neck, and actually if you look really closely, let me get at the right angle, I'll move real slow, I don't know if you can see it. There's a tiny little lump and it sticks out, and when I feel it, like it's there, I had a CT scan where they inject the dye in your body. It makes you feel like you're peeing your pants, but you're really not. And they came back and said that it was nothing. They did tell me that I had like a cyst on my thyroid, but that's no big deal, is what they told me. So it always plays in my mind. I'm always feeling my neck and my lymph nodes, and then I'm like, oh my God, what's this lump? And I'm just super paranoid of like going to the doctor and then having them say, you know, oh yeah, your lump, it's gotten so much bigger. And trust me, I feel it all the time, probably way more than I should, but I feel it all the time. And I don't think it's gotten bigger. So I think we're okay. I think having the CT scan, I remember asking the doctor when she gave me the results, I was like, well, how accurate is this? Maybe it could be wrong. And she's like, well, if you're really that, you know, worried about it, you could have a biopsy. Well, I don't know. I don't want to go in and have like, I don't want my neck to be cut open and get a biopsy if it's really not necessary. So I trusted the CT scan, and you know, I don't have any like symptoms of if it was cancer. So yeah, so I had that physical, had blood work, had all that stuff done. Everything came back fine. Like I've never had any, knock on wood, major health issues. I've probably been to the doctor 3 times in 20 years. I mean, I can't even tell you. Kind of like fear of dying, like doctors kind of goes together, that like my fear of dying is that like I'm gonna go to a doctor and they're just gonna tell me, oh, you have such and such a disease and you have 3 months to live. Like that's what I mean by like fear of dying, not fear of like, you know, random I'm gonna die in my sleep, or random I'm gonna go out and someone's gonna kill me. Not like that. Like the fear of dying, that I'm gonna get diagnosed with something really bad and I'm gonna have this like really short time to live. Like that's, I don't know why. I don't think about it a lot. Don't think I'm that crazy, but definitely think about it more than I should. And then I also think about, I'll take my age, I'm 45, so I'm like, okay, my life's more than half over. Like that really freaks me out to do the math, to think, okay, maybe I'll live until I'm 90, maybe not, but I'm somewhere in that space of my life's half over, and I'm not too happy about it. So that is definitely a fear of like thinking, I don't know, kind of crazy. I don't know. I could probably come up with stuff more and more and make this video 3 times longer. But as always, I talk way too long. But yeah, I just wanted to make a little video while I just put on a little bit of makeup for the day. I'm not really doing anything special today. So be sure to leave a comment down below on what your biggest fear is, or fears, if you want to list more than one. And let me know if you guys have any other topics you want me to make in some of my little chit chat videos. All right guys, so that's gonna be it for this video. Be sure you give it a thumbs up. Be sure you comment down below, what is your biggest fear? And do you feel like your fears get worse as you get older? Because I definitely do, which I think is just common sense. Think like your fears when you're younger compared to, when I say younger, I'm thinking like younger adult. Your fears when you're in your 20s are definitely a lot different when you get older. So anyways, that's another whole conversation. Everything's always another conversation. But yeah, comment down below what your biggest fear is. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. I have something new coming up. I'm not sure if it'll be this week or not. I have my next book review video already finished. That'll probably go up in a day or two. And probably next week, I'm kicking off something new on my channel that I'm super excited about. And I just want to say thanks to you guys who are hanging in there with me and going along with all these different types of videos that I'm trying out on my channel until I really figure out what it is that I enjoy, or maybe I never will. It'll just constantly be different videos all the time. I feel like I just haven't caught my groove yet, so it's random whatever. Videos that don't fit on our family nest can be found here on Candyland. That should be my slogan. So thanks guys, make it a great day. I'll see you next time. Oh, I forgot the lipstick.